Hi, everybody. Al Bernstein here with our Boxing Hot Topics, where I take a look at three of the hot topics in the sport of boxing right now. Number one has to do with the recent fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. A fantastic match won by Eubank Jr. With the unanimous decision. It was thrilling and exciting. And now there is a lot of talk about the possibility of a rematch. I'm going to say, and I seldom go into these kind of waters, I personally would rather not see a rematch. It was a fantastic fight, and they might well create yet another exciting fight. But it seems to me both these men are at a certain position where a rematch seems like it's not the best idea. Eubank Jr. at age 35, who had to come down in weight, and it was very difficult to make the weight. He didn't quite get there, and had to be looked after the fight, even in winning it, to make sure that his physical condition was good. To put him through trying to make that weight again feels like it's a labor that could create some unwanted results if it's another fight like that. And Conor Benn, who is 28 years old and is a true welterweight, had to face a much bigger man, took a bunch of punishment, and it seems to me that if they fought at 160 again, it would be too big for Conor Benn, and it would create issues for Eubank as well. So, in my opinion, this was a great one-off. Very exciting. It had all the allure of the great rivalry between their two fathers. It was a terrific fight. Both men come out of it, in a sense, as winners because they performed so well. And Conor Benn answered a lot of questions about himself. And Eubank Jr. showed there's still a lot in the tank for him at age 35, and he can move on in higher weight classes and pursue that still, while Conor Benn is free to try to get glory in the welterweight division, which is a more appropriate venue for him to fight in, I think, at this juncture. So, me personally, I'd prefer no rematch, and both them moving on to another fight. Hot topic number two is the announcement that the official date announcement of the Alexander Usyk Daniel Dubois fight. We knew that fight was going to happen. We weren't sure exactly when, and they found the date for it. And to me, this is a welcome fight. I am looking forward to it. It is, I think, speaks well of the heavyweight division and of those two men that this is the next fight on the docket. For Usyk, it continues his consistent commitment to fighting the best fighters that he can fight. Since 2015, long time ago, Alexander Usyk has, for the most part, except for maybe one fight that you can point to, where he moved up to heavyweight and fought Chaz Witherspoon, who was a lower level heavyweight, and that was just to get him used to fighting in the heavyweight division. Other than that, he has fought the best in two weight classes, the cruiserweight and heavyweight division, since 2015. Every single fight has been against a really, really good foe who was in the upper echelon of those two weight classes, and in many cases were champions. So for Usyk, now he takes on the man that I think is the next logical person for him to fight, a man he fought once before. He got the win, but it had its share of controversy because of the body punch that was called illegal. Many people have questioned whether it was a legal blow or wasn't. Had it been called a legal blow, probably it would have ended up being a win for Daniel Dubois. Now, for Daniel Dubois, since that loss to Usyk, he has won 3 straight fights, 2 of them against undefeated fighters in Miller and Hrgovic, and the other to win a title against Anthony Joshua. And what's more important is he's looked really good in winning those fights. He has looked occasionally vulnerable, which is what Daniel Dubois does in the ring, but also exciting and fought very well in all 3 of those fights. So this fight I am very much looking forward to, and I'm glad that it's on the books, and it will do justice, I think, to the heavyweight division, and I can't wait to see it happen. Now, this weekend, hot topic number 3. This weekend, we are going to see something that we rarely see on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to see 3 important fight cards in 3 different locations, geographically spanning the globe in a sense. There will be a fight on May 2nd in New York City, as New York continues to now, with that fight and others that are planned, become again a player in boxing in terms of it as a location. And this fight, like the other 2 we're going to talk about in a second, are cards in which the main event, we have a very prohibitive favorite, and it would take a big upset for the underdog to win. But like the other 2 cards, there's a very good undercard. So all 3 of these cards have really good undercards and a main event that has a prohibitive favorite, and it would require an upset or a great effort on the part of the underdog to make it a competitive fight. But that's a very distinct possibility in boxing, we know. On May 2nd, Ryan Garcia taking on Raul Romero in what is billed as the main event on that card. It could have been either of the other 2 major fights on that card. That one's going to happen on the 2nd. Then across the world in Riyadh, we have the fight between Canelo Alvarez the next night against William Scull, who won the 168-pound championship in a very questionable decision over Shishkin. And Scull has parlayed that title into an opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez at 168. And the undercard of that has some excellent fights on it as well. But if Scull were to win that, that would be a monumental upset. And if he was going to do it, he would have to do it by, unlike Raul Romero against Garcia, who would do it by landing a huge right hand and hurting Garcia. Scull's mission in this fight is to be the boxer that he is. He tends to deaden fights, and he is very skilled at moving and nullifying opponents' offense. He's going to have to do that against Canelo Alvarez, and this is an older Canelo Alvarez that isn't as much a volume puncher. Then on Sunday in Las Vegas, it will be Naoya Inoue, the monster, who is going to be defending his title against Ramon Cardenas. That too has an excellent undercard under it. And this too is a fight in which Inoue is a very, very big betting favorite. Cardenas is a good fighter, but whether he can deal with the power and overall skill of Inoue remains to be seen. This fight is a stop for Inoue to a fight later in the year against Mirjan Akhmadaliev, which will be a very, very important fight for 122-pound supremacy. But this one in Las Vegas will bring Inoue to the United States, where he has only fought several times, and give American fans a chance to see him. So the weekend of boxing, to me, is about major events in major places. And while all 3 of those could have undercards that will give us sizzling fights, the main events are ones that have big favorites. But we've seen in boxing before that sometimes upsets are created. And in all 3 of those cases, I think the atmosphere for these fights is going to be very special. So those are the 3 hot topics for this edition, and we'll see you next time.